legend, son.
DC dropped a lot of news this week with their new initiative, Infinite Frontier. New creative teams, new directions they're taking characters in. I've been very vocal about my opinion of what DC has been doing, with their characters, with their firings, with future state. There's so much going on at DC, but this seems like it could be a glimmer of hope. Maybe,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seems like they're not completely ignoring print comics, like some people have thought, like, oh, they're going to go more digital. We're not going to see as much in terms of stuff in print, but a lot of cool shit.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff, dude.
One of the things that, stood out to me, just because, like, hold on, I want to get the name right, just because, like, I'm a huge Flash fan, and I have not liked what they did following Joshua Williamson's run, is they have this new guy, Jeremy Adams, who I think is a screenwriter. He's taking over Flash with Brandon Peterson on art, but it's going to be like a redemption of Wally West. I'm pretty stoked about that. We'll see where that leads, especially because, like, if you paid attention, like they released those images, right? Of Infinite Legends, I forgot the names, focusing on the Bat family, Superman family, Wonder Woman family, and the Justice League family. Flash is not in Justice League, but what's very, very interesting is a lot of people thought Bendis might not be at DC post his Superman run. He's writing Justice League with Dave Marquez on art.
Dude,
I'm down. And you know what the best part about the team is? Fucking Green Arrow and Black Canary are part of the team, and I'm all in.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think Bendis, maybe he can do something really cool. He's good with teams. I mean, his Avengers run is one of my favorite runs. In comics, not just Avengers runs, but I love his Avengers. New Avengers, when he brought Spider-Man, Wolverine, Luke Cage onto the team. Like, he created a really cool run. So
yeah,
that
was a fun run. That was definitely a fun run. I agree. Yeah, you know what I'm excited for? I mean, there's two things I'm excited for. I mean, obviously Chip Zdarsky writing Batman is going to be fantastic. I don't know what he's going to do, but he basically put a cape on Daredevil and boom. Chip Zdarsky writing Batman.
Yeah.
And,
it's that anthology that he's doing.
Urban Legends. Brandon Thomas is writing for that too. Stephanie Phillips, Matthew Rosenberg. There's going to be art from a bunch of people: Ryan Benjamin, Laura Braga, Max Dunbar, Eddie Barrows, Marcus Toe. But what I'm really, really excited for is Nightwing by Tom Taylor.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I never thought I'd hear you say you were excited for Nightwing. Like, that's...
This is a year of firsts for me, Ryan.
Yeah.
A lot of firsts. Okay? 2020 has been weird, bro.
It's a shit show. It's in a shit storm, 2020. That's a
shit show.
That's crazy.
It is.
I love that
Tom Taylor fucking shit show.
I got the email because I get the press releases probably like an hour or two before the net has them on there, right? Because they hold it in embargo. Like, you're not allowed to release it until a certain time.
Yeah.
And then you messaged me like shortly after, and I have to say, I couldn't have foreseen that they would put like someone of his caliber on a Nightwing book. But dude, I'm so stoked because Nightwing's been my favorite character for a very long time, going back to like the Chuck Dixon run, which I have all of them in trade. I have
Chuck
a lot
Dixon
of
run was fantastic.
So I'm excited what Tom Taylor's going to do, and he's bringing Barbara Gordon. So that's all.
You know what else I'm excited for? It's only getting 10 issues, but it's just super exciting just knowing that he's going to have his own series and not just annual specials. Fucking Swamp Thing, dude.
No, dude, and it's a new Swamp Thing.
Yeah, it's a what?
It's a new Swamp Thing.
What?
Yeah, so
it's not Alec Holland.
No. It's not Alex Holland, which I don't know. I'm fine with that. Because they've been leaning towards Swamp Thing or Alec Holland not being the avatar of the Green.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm down to see where this is going to go. Personally, I think Ram V is the writer, and he's been doing some good stuff. I heard his Justice League Dark run is really good. I'm not reading it because I don't. Okay. Yeah, I try not to jump in the middle of runs. It just like. For the collector in me, it's hard. Like, I'm going to do it with Nightwing because Nightwing is like a character that I love. I'm fine with having a gap in my Flash run because I didn't like what they were doing before. But yeah, I think it's going to be really cool. I think the speculators are gonna latch onto that. Mark my words, it's going to be a first appearance thing, future state Swamp Thing. I just have this feeling it's going to be on eBay week before. So I made sure to add it so that I can have it because I love Swamp Thing. I think we both have talked about our love for that character, so I don't want to miss out on an issue because it's speculator. That's another book I'm very excited about. But you know what I thought was really interesting? You know, like they have the new Batman Black and White series, right? Which, by the way, the first issue, fucking amazing. If you haven't read it, dude, you gotta read it. It was so. You read it?
I read it.
It was so good.
My only complaint. This is my only legitimate complaint about Batman Black and White.
Black Man.
It's that Trad Moore's art in Black and White isn't as it doesn't have that kind of feeling, doesn't give that feeling as it would be in color. That's like my only thing. I'm like, this would have been way better in color. That's like my only complaint about that particular issue. I was just like, but it's so good though. It is good though. Like I like the whole Andy Kubert makes a return. Like it was great, dude.
Yeah, the J.H. Williams shit was really dope. But what they're doing, which is really interesting, it's never been done before, is Superman Red and Blue. I don't know if you saw that announcement.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Like that's pretty dope. And they're getting Wes Craig from Deadly Class to write and draw a Superman story. Get the fuck out of here, dude. I never thought I would see something like that. So that's another book I'm very excited for. I think the Batman line, while I've had my issues with the James Tynion stuff, I would say post-Joker War, there's been some interesting stuff that he's doing. Like Batman doesn't have his money anymore. He doesn't have Wayne Enterprises. He has nothing pretty much, right? So I think that it could be interesting. I don't know what's going to happen moving forward because there's also going to be a Joker ongoing, which I don't know that we really need that.
I think it's unnecessary. I
think it's a cash grab.
We're gonna follow him as he commits crimes.
Yeah, it's weird. So, but the Detective by Dan Mora and Mariko Tamaki, that seems kind of interesting. Like I said, Joshua Williamson is doing a Robin backup, starring Damian. Yeah. Damian's got a new outfit, which they showed in the teasers for like the Batman line and all that stuff. So, there's a lot to be excited for, dude.
His costume invokes a lot of Ra's al Ghul.
That's what I like. I would look.
I would love for him to be the head of the demon, dude. That'd be great.
Dude, I was just gonna say that. I would love if they went a different direction and he led the League of Assassins as a fucking like 12, 13-year-old kid. Like I feel like that would bring so much cool stories that you could like lead from there, and then him like basically being at odds with his dad. You know what I mean? Like so that would be really dope. I think Joel Jones doing a Wonder Girl book starring that Yara Flor, which is the Brazilian Amazon. I think that'll be kind of cool.
She's a river goddess, apparently.
Oh, okay. All right.
She's a river goddess. Like that's her thing. And the Amazon, biggest river in the world, and she's an Amazon. What?
Yeah.
Wordplay.
Dude, so there's a lot of cool stuff, man. Like I said, I talked a lot of shit about the whole DC everything. That's all I'm gonna say. The whole DC everything that I've been talking so much shit about. It wasn't because I hate DC Comics. It's because it's out of my appreciation and love of the characters that it just was really hard to see. So I have a lot of
this is how I felt for like a good decade or so when X-Men was just bad.
And then now it's doing good. So,
exactly. Now it's fantastic again.
The X line has been really good, and I think the DC line, Infinite Frontier, this new initiative that they're doing, like every couple of years they got a new one, right? They did Rebirth, they did New 52, they did DCU, like it's all this shit, right? It's not an event, but like an initiative, right? To kind of realign everything, and this whole new multiverse that's coming out, I think from Metal is going to be cool.
Yeah. Okay, so I caught up on Metal, completely caught up now. Let me tell you how hard that was.
Yeah, I bet. There's a lot of fucking...
I know, because I haven't read anything since Robin King. I mean, granted, in between here and there, I skipped a couple tie-ins, but I got the important stuff. I read the Lobo tie-in. Dude, the Batman Who Frags?
yeah, I know. It's great. So good.
Okay, so the absolute ridiculousness of it, like, it's all piled on top of something really cool that I feel like Scott Snyder is doing. That was like kind of like bridging the path to everything post future state. And I'm really excited for it, especially like, so now we all have to remember, we have to, untie the knots in the timeline so everybody remembers everything. And I'm just sitting here like, so going forward, everything is canon? Like,
I mean, essentially, yeah.
Yeah, right. Going forward, everything's gonna be canon. We're not gonna have to like tie ourselves down to what happened in the new 52, or tie ourselves down to what happened in Rebirth, or tie ourselves down to everything that happened post both those events. I'm actually pretty excited for it because now it's like, dude, like you're literally making the history of the DC universe its history, and that's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how they're gonna like align stuff timeline wise, because if everything exists, there's contradictions, right? Especially, I would say the most with Wonder Woman when she debuted. That's where it like gets tricky, because like you can't have her coming in World War I, right? And then also having her come in World War II, or having her come in, let's say the New 52, like she didn't even come in during the war. She fucking debuted when they fought fucking Darkseid, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm very intrigued by a lot of the announcements. I probably will check out the first issues in all these new arcs for the most part. Maybe there's some titles I just don't care. Like Suicide Squad just doesn't appeal to me. And we haven't even seen all the announcements yet. Like we're just seeing March. So
they just started rolling stuff out.
Right. The new Green Lantern series didn't show in there. The Wonder Girl series didn't show in there. The new Teen Titans Academy, I think. Oh, that did show up too. So that's kind of interesting too. Like there's going to be like Red X from the Teen Titans cartoon, which I'm kind of down to see because I always liked when in the comics, Dick Grayson was Robin on that show. So he went undercover to kind of dismantle Deathstroke or whatever. And so yeah, I like I said, a lot of cool stuff that's coming from DC, and I wouldn't say there's anything groundbreaking or anything pushing the envelope, but it is nice to see some fresh talent in there, and I'm optimistic. To see what they're going to do, and it's nice to see that they're not completely canceling a bunch of their line. Maybe they're limiting it. They're putting a lot of that's another thing, a lot of backup stories. You know what I mean? We're going to see a lot of backup stories in all the books as well, which I'm down for.
Yeah, it's
But what's your overall take on the DC stuff, or what things are you gonna check out?
I mean, I'm like overly excited for. I mean, I'm probably gonna do like you. I'm probably gonna check out the majority of stuff. At least the first issue. But I'm definitely excited for Swampy. I'm definitely excited for Nightwing. The Detective Comics sounds freaking awesome. I mean, I love Marika Tamaki. I just hope this translates better with her doing this as opposed to her Wonder Woman, because it's just not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. You know what I mean? And I feel like she can really pull some crazy stuff off with the whole Bat family. You know what I mean? Now she has like a more she has a better she'll have a better rogues gallery. She'll have a better supporting cast for Batman and Batman and whichever Robin she chooses. And I think it's gonna be great. I just really, really hope that Jarro gets incorporated somehow. That's like my only thing. I feel like Jarro should just be forever a recurring character. And and somewhere down the line when Jarro grows into a big boy starfish, some kind of like Jarro crisis. Like
that sounds like something Grant Morrison would write. Like that sounds completely like a Jarro crisis. Yeah.
The Jarro crisis, dude. That's like the perfect title too. I guarantee you the cult following of Jarro would come out in the droves for that crisis.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they would. Yeah, I just don't know that DC would actually ever do a fucking book like that. You know, they don't cater to the smaller fan bases. I mean, I think it's evident with Green Arrow not having an ongoing. I think it's evident with a lot of some of the lesser tiers not having ongoings. You know, I think I will say this though. It's interesting. We don't see any Scott Snyder, any Grant Morrison, in any of these announcements. So I wonder if they're both taking a break from DC. Yeah.
I think that's good. I mean, the thing is, like, dude, how it's like almost 10 years now. Scott Snyder has been writing something for DC. Grant Morrison is the immortal bald-headed wizard that just always pops in whenever he wants to. Like, you know what I mean? Like we need fresh blood. We need new blood. And the thing is, it's like, you know, it was evident with Bendis at Marvel. Like, the longer someone stays somewhere and stagnant and writing the same characters, the less fresh ideas get put out into the world. And I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. Like, you know, these creative teams on all these things is like, it's fantastic. I mean, like, come on, Brandon Thomas writing a Batman story, Chip Zdarsky writing a Batman story. That's fantastic. We got Mariko Tamaki. Like, I mean, I'm just gonna keep on saying her name, but like Mariko Tamaki writing a Detective Comics with Dan Mora. Dude, Dan Mora is like easily becoming one of my favorite fucking artists. You know, he's great. He's fantastic. And I think that, you know, with this new blood, it allows for the formulation of new ideas. And even if some of those ideas don't pan out exactly, it gives way and gives a little bit more room for the next writer. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I like that. That's why I never understood like the general outrage that people have with certain writers, like writing a character. I'm like, dude, this is comic books. We could, but by the time the next writer comes along, for all you know, and something could be retconned. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
So I'm looking forward to it. Like, it's gonna be great. I think DC needs it. You know, and I think going forward, hopefully, with the success of this, if everything is as fresh as it sounds and everything is as promising as it sounds, dude, DC could have a renaissance here next year.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fully endorsing what they're doing. You know, I think I even like at the beginning of Future State announcements, I was skeptical, but I researched a little more, and not all the stuff, but a lot of this stuff was intriguing to me. And you know, I'm all in, dude. Like, I definitely will read it. I'm not saying I'm going to buy everything, but you know, that's the blessing of working at a shop, is that, you know, I can check all this stuff out. And you know,
taking this home.
Yeah, I'll recommend what I like to people, and the other stuff I just won't talk about. I'm not gonna force stuff on people, you know. But I'm definitely excited. I'm endorsing this new initiative. I think it could potentially be good for shops if it's getting people to check out a lot more stuff than they were checking out before. And I can't wait, dude. I'm excited for Future State and Infinite Frontier.
Yeah, I thought I was excited for Future State, but now I'm even more excited for post Future State, dude.
Yeah,
like Nightwing. I'm picking up a Nightwing comic, Ryan. What?
Yes, I'm very happy that that you're doing that. And if you're not already follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can follow Dylan at the Dillbot on Instagram, and throw your comments or suggestions down below, or you can email us thecomicloungepod@gmail.com. And make sure you like, follow, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time a new episode goes up. And on that note, we're out.
Later, buds.